robbing the Circle store of its degrees. The store owner, Circle O, has provided evidence from his security camera. Judge Jess, permission to show the footage?
Permission granted.
Point out a particular scene in which it is clearly seen that triangle NMB is running out of Circle O's store.
But I am right. Stop being so obtuse.
Exactly my case! Your Honor, triangle NMB is a notorious right triangle. She has two legs, NM and MB, with hypotenuse NB. As you can see, the triangle in the footage is also a right triangle. Triangle NMB and the triangle in the video are both right triangles, and therefore both share the common characteristic of a right angle. Circle O's door is 4 feet and 3 feet wide. According to public records, you're the only triangle in the town that can possibly fit through it. You are the only triangle with the special Pythagorean triple. Judge Jess, I request you measure the hypotenuse of triangle NMB.
Permission granted.
This doesn't prove anything. The jury invading my area.
If the jury will turn their attention to the board, I will explain how we will determine the hypotenuse. Here we have a representation of the triangle with the same legs as triangle N and B. If the width of the door is 3, then leg MB is also 3. If the height of the doorway is 4, then leg NM is also 4. Using the Pythagorean theorem, I can prove that the measurements of the hypotenuse, NB, is 5 feet. This corresponds with the triangle in the footage, who has the same measurements.
But my one leg isn't 4 feet. It's 4.5 feet. I've grown since last October.
Now, according to the medical records, which show that your visit to the doctor a month ago gives no sign of growth. But triangle NMB, you may be surprised to know that it wouldn't matter what the length of that leg is. The hypotenuse and your other leg both match the hypotenuse and leg of the triangle in the footage. You are therefore proven guilty by what I like to call the hypotenuse leg theorem.
Triangle NMB, you are proven guilty of congruence. Get her out of here.
Well, I think we made our point.
Our next case involves the proof of paternity. This triangle, ABC, says he is the father of DEF, as he claims they are congruent. We can easily prove these triangles congruent by using side, SSS, where all their sides must be congruent in order for ABC to be congruent to triangle DEF.
Your Honor, there is no way he's my father. He's been absent my whole life, and there's no way we can possibly be congruent.
We will be able to prove or disprove this easily by using SSS, as we are given all the side lengths of each triangle. Within triangle ABC, AB equals 6, BC equals 7, and AC equals 8. The measurements of triangle DEF are DE equals 6, EF equals 7, and DF equals 8, making AB equal to DE, BC equal to EF, and DF equal to AC by the substitution property of
Objection! Just because we are equal does not mean we are congruent.
On the contrary, the definition of congruent segments, we are allowed to say that AB is congruent to DE, EF is congruent to BC, and DF is congruent to AC. Therefore, triangle ABC is congruent to DEF by SSS, and ABC is in fact the father.
Triangle DEF, you are guilty of congruence. Go say hello to your new father, as you two have been catching up with you. Bring in the next case.
I would like to call the defendant, triangle XYZ, to the stand. Do you solemnly swear that you will tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
In this case, we are investigating the robbery of the bank in Cylinder Street. Triangle XYZ has been identified by several witnesses at the scene as the culprit. However, there is more evidence. Security footage of a triangle entering and robbing the bank. That triangle looks a lot like you, XYZ, wouldn't you say?
I don't see the resemblance.
Really? Look at the triangle when we zoom in. YZ is 7 inches, angle X is 30 degrees, and angle Y is 60 degrees. We have your measurements on file right here.
Triangle XYZ has a side of 7, and angle X is 30 degrees, and angle Y is 60 degrees. But that doesn't prove anything.
Oh, but it does. Are you familiar with the angle side theorem?
No.
Aware that you are under oath? By angle side, if two angles and a non-included side of one triangle are congruent to two angles and a non-included side of a second triangle, then the two triangles are congruent. Therefore, by AAS, triangle XYZ is congruent to the triangle in the security footage.
Order! Order in my court! Triangle XYZ is guilty of congruence. Bailiff, remove the defendant. Bring in the next case.
Bring in the next case.
But just last week, it was reported that a scaling triangle disguised as DEF was seen shooting rectangle WXYZ. We have 2 people to testify. I would like to bring in my first witness, Circle M.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. This case involves a proof of paternity. This triangle.
And how could you do this? I thought we were friends. Circle M, will you please describe to me what you noticed about triangle DEF?
Well, I can only remember that side DE was 3 feet tall. I know this because it's the same height as my radius. Also, triangle DEF was wearing a purple headband, one I've seen triangle ABC wear numerous times before. But that doesn't matter. What matters is triangle ABC is guilty.
Circle M, you are now excused from the stand.
So we can't write the congruent?
Yeah, but I would like to ask the judge's permission if I can measure all the sides of triangle ABC.
Permission granted, but don't get too touchy.
Aha! BC is 6 feet. AC is 7 feet. And AB, the congruent side to DE, is 3 feet. That doesn't prove anything!
Order in my court!
Since the corresponding sides, AB and DE, are both 3 feet, that makes them congruent. If we can get 2 more pieces of evidence, we can prove that triangle DEF was in fact triangle ABC in disguise.
Go. Bring in the next witness.
Rectangle WXYZ, I would like to ask you a few questions about what you noticed about triangle DEF on the day he shot you. Did you notice anything about his interior angles?
Yes. When he tried to shoot me, when he shot me, I noticed that angle D was 34 degrees. And then as he turned away to run away, I noticed that angle E was 64 degrees.
This is all crap. What does my angle measure have to do with anything? Rectangle WXYZ, you may now leave the stand. I now ask permission from the judge to measure out angles A and B on triangle ABC.
Permission granted.
Angle A, which corresponds with angle D, measures to be 34 degrees. And angle B, which corresponds with angle E, measures to be 64 degrees. We have now proven that corresponding angles A and D are congruent, and corresponding angles B and E are congruent. We proved earlier that corresponding sides AB and DE were also congruent. With these 3 pieces of evidence, it forms postulate ASA, otherwise known as angle, side, angle, which proves that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DEF. But that information can only come to one conclusion. Triangle DEF is actually triangle ABC in disguise.
Order! I now officially conclude that triangle ABC is guilty of congruence. Take it away, boys.
I will now present to you the information about about a kidnapping. Last Saturday night, Mr. Rectangle was awoken with the sound of a crying and a loud crash. He immediately ran to investigate and realized the sound came from his baby's room. He stormed in, and to his horror, he discovered the baby gone and a hole in the wall, about the same size of triangle VJB. I believe that we can solve this mystery by using side angle side, or SAS, where two sides and the included angle of one triangle must be congruent to two sides and the included angle of another triangle, in order for these triangles to be congruent.
This is my baby rectangle. I adopted him not too long ago. If you let me get him and get the paperwork, I can prove this.
No way! Oh, we don't have that kind of time for this right now. As we are missing one of the side measurements, we are going to use SAS to help us crack this case. For the sake of the argument, we will call the hole in the wall triangle RTS. We have taken the measurements of VJB and now know that VJ equals 8, JB equals 5, and angle VJB equals 60 degrees. Our officials just measured RTS, and we can assure us that RT equals 8 and TS equals 5, making VJ and RT equal and TS equal to JB by the substitution property of equality. VJ is congruent to RT and TS is congruent to JB by the definition of congruent segments, which we just recently mentioned.
This proves nothing. You don't have the third side line, so you can't properly determine that we are congruent.
Actually, with the help of my assistant protractor, we can measure the angle between these two lines. As I expected, 60 degrees. So by SAS, U triangle VJB is congruent to RTS, and we can accurately say that you have committed the kidnapping.
I swear I wasn't going to harm him. I was just lonely.
Well, you should have got a dog. You, triangle BJB, are guilty of congruence. That's enough cases for today. Bring in the dancing lobsters.